Movie Time is produced by John DeSando. Listen to shows and read reviews online at WCBE.org.
I'm John DeSando.
And I'm Mindy Mcfann.
And it's movie time.
Yes, it is movie time. What a great sentence.
Now, Mindy,
Yes,
if I say to you, The Voice,
yes.
do you respond with Sinatra?
No, I don't know. I thought of that. I think I would probably think of Aretha Franklin if somebody said that to
Okay,
me.
all right.
Yeah.
But Whitney
Yeah.
Houston was known as The Voice.
Evidently.
And sold more records, right? What was
Than
it?
just about anybody ever.
In fact, she had 7 #1s in a row that beat the Beatles.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
Who is this lady and what are we talking about, Mindy?
Amazing. They were talking, oh my gosh. I took my sister with me because I was so afraid of how sad the movie was going to make
yes.
me. It's such a sad story about unbelievable talent. That's one of the things I took away. I knew she had a beautiful voice. I didn't know
Yes.
she was so musically intelligent.
Yeah. It's called Whitney Houston, I Want to Dance with Somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a biopic.
Yeah, and such a poignant title.
Yeah, and you know, we've seen them before.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there have been plenty of poor, degenerated, great stars.
Right, right.
That I think one of the reasons not everybody's going to go to this movie is they're going to say, oh, more of the same.
It isn't. I mean, I didn't expect there to be as much music. I swore I read something saying there wasn't a lot of music, and there is a lot of music.
And you know what? I think they play through a couple of songs.
Yeah.
You know how most of these
Yes.
just give you the first few bars.
Yeah.
And that's it. This one actually does feature her music.
Yeah, absolutely. And I thought it was really important because I got a feel for what it felt like to be on that stage.
Yes.
I mean, I could feel abstractly the endorphins, the adrenaline, all those feelings that you must get when you're on a stage in front of a zillion people. And all those chemicals are shooting through your body, and then you step off the stage.
And you know, I wonder if you were like me. I was going in with a chip on my shoulder. And the chip was, so she's going to lip sync.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I'm saying, no, why can't they just have somebody sing? I don't expect to have Whitney Houston's voice.
Right.
And
right.
so why don't they just get an actress who can really sing da-da-da
Mm-hmm.
within a minute?
Mm-hmm.
This woman
Yeah.
may be the best lip syncer I have ever seen.
It was
Mindy.
amazing. Amazing.
She is lip syncing all of Whitney's songs.
Yep.
I think there's only a few practice moments
Right.
when it's her own.
Yeah.
But Mindy,
Never felt it.
I didn't either.
No.
And I've talked to people who have said, look, how can you possibly duplicate in any way Whitney Houston's voice? So why are you demanding that somebody else try it?
Absolutely. Especially because, I mean, it is so important to the story. I mean,
Yeah.
and not her singing, just that uncanny ability to be better than anybody else at something.
Oh my, and I'm with you. I didn't realize how transcendent she was and how she had beaten
Yeah.
just about everybody else
Yeah.
in some of the measures that we have for greatness.
Yeah.
Naomi Ackie
I think
is
that's
the
how you
name of
pronounce
the,
it. Yeah.
she has done some other things, maybe on
She
TV.
was wonderful. Just wonderful.
You know, one of the things, Mindy, that I saw on this that I really loved about her is that she appeared to be singing
Mm-hmm.
along with it.
Mm-hmm. I imagine you would have to do it, because I've always been told that you can tell when somebody's lip syncing
Yes.
because their throat doesn't
Yes.
expand.
Yeah.
So she must have been singing.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the inflections,
Yeah. Oh, and her mannerisms.
the change in key.
Well, in fact, there was one moment at the end where, before they showed the real Whitney Houston, where I was like, is that, I got confused about who it was.
Yes.
And I went, that's
It
crazy.
was the same way too.
Yeah.
Not that she bears that much of a resemblance, but she,
No, but she embodied
Yes.
her so well.
yes, she channels Whitney
Yes,
Houston.
she did. Yes, she did.
All right, so it's not just all about Whitney Houston, although she's the centerpiece of this, and even though it's a longish movie,
Yeah.
over 2 hours,
I didn't feel it though.
not a bit.
Not a bit.
Sad to see her go.
Yep. Yep.
Enjoyed every moment that she performed.
Absolutely. And I went in thinking, this was my concern, is I thought it was going to be just about addiction.
Yes,
And I
yes.
was so happy they put it in a perfect context that I mean, it wasn't about her I mean, there were a couple harrowing scenes, but it wasn't just this nightmare from beginning to end. They showed so many parts of her. You know, the thing I really loved that I presume Clive Davis imbued this with is she was one hell of a strong woman. She just, it's just, you see, especially, I love when he says something about her being tired, and she said, all black women are always exhausted.
Yes.
It broke my heart.
Mindy, I would have liked to have seen more of that.
Broke my heart.
You know.
But the whole movie broke my heart. I must have started crying 4 or 5 times when I was watching it. But you saw this woman who had this incredible strength. She attempted to stand up to her mother, to her father,
Yes.
to her husband. I mean, she attempted to stand up to everyone, and everyone slapped her down. Slapped her down.
And if you take a look at the superb actors who played those parts, they were not shrinking violets.
No.
In other words, you're talking about a strength, and you are absolutely right. Anybody would be like just standing back and letting them go because they were so strong.
Yeah.
And obviously Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
One of the things about the film I think is so interesting is the point you made about the addiction. Where if you have something about Judy Garland or Amy Winehouse, you're going to get a lot of addiction. Here, they really downplay it. I wonder, Mindy, if they downplay it too much.
No, because I think that is the reality of the disease. It is not, yes, you descend into it. It's chronic illness that gets worse and worse over time, but that doesn't erase everything you are. It's not like you have cancer, you're no longer anybody else but cancer.
Great point.
And it's so often addiction usurps every part, at least in the telling of it, every part of a person's being. And this didn't do that. Yes, she had an addiction problem, but she was also a lot of other magnificent things.
And actually comes back.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Through just grit.
Yeah.
Just grit. And I mean, every time she tried to stand up herself and somebody knocked her down, you realize that she had like no support system.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, Clive did, but he didn't. He preferred not to intervene.
And I'm going to assume Stanley Tucci is a phenomenal actor,
Yes.
and Clive Davis is the most monotone person that ever lived. Because at first I'm like, what is going on? I thought, that's what this dude acts like. He's just kind of chill to the bone. And he tried to stay out of her life, and I get that as a businessman. That would be a very precarious route to carry yourself around.
Yeah. He also had insight. He knew music.
Yes, absolutely.
And he brought
He's
to
obviously
her,
brilliant.
Yeah, brought to her some songs.
Yep.
Plus, he really was a stabilizing influence in her life
Absolutely.
for so long. And toward the end, I think he tried to intervene because he knew that she was really sliding.
Yeah, but he was healthy enough not to try to fix people.
Also, we have to say, Clive Davis is a producer of this film.
Yes, he is.
So we're not sure.
No, I was aware of that the whole time I was watching it.
Right.
You know?
He does come off well.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
But yet, he's tremendously successful.
Yeah.
So I can't discount that, but how much he played in her life, I'm not sure this is totally accurate, given that he is a producer.
But I didn't feel anybody got villainized. I mean, my impression, I thought the woman that played her mother was phenomenal too.
Oh.
And I thought she did a really good job of, as all mothers do, trying to give your child what you didn't have. Sometimes parents forget to ask if that's what their child wants.
Yes, that one moment when she has her daughter sing, I forget which song, she has her stand in for her, brilliant moment.
Yes, yes.
Brilliant moment.
Yes.
Because
her mother
Davis was in the audience.
Yeah, but she was managing a career.
Yes.
And that's not the same as managing a child.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I really believe she was doing it because she thought she was giving her child what she didn't have.
Yeah.
And that is a precarious place with parents because they don't always want the same things you want.
The father,
Uh-huh.
John Huston,
Yep.
Very well played
Yeah, absolutely.
by Clark
Absolutely.
Peters.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
A rock
yeah.
who's also siphoning money.
Big time,
Yeah.
big time. But I mean, you come from nothing, and you watch your wife support. Back then, your wife is supporting you. You're staying home with the kids. That's not easy for any man back
Oh,
then.
no, it isn't.
So he had all these, insecurities, I presume, going into it, and he robbed her blind. But I think somewhere in his head, he thought it was justified.
Well, let's talk a little about these people in our back talk segment.
Okay.
Now people they're ringing. The phones are ringing already.
Of course.
They're worried that we're going to stop. Well, we have to stop because we have just a short show. But
Yes.
they can go over to the podcast experience at WCBE
Absolutely.
and look at back talk and
And
they
it's
can
worth
listen
it.
to more of our blather.
Oh
Can
yeah.
you believe
Oh
the
yeah.
reaction?
Blather, blather.
Mindy Mcfann. The movie is Whitney Houston. I Want to Dance with Somebody. Your advice?
Go see it. If nothing else, just enjoy the music. But go see it.